In a move that has surprised the world, Russian President Vladimir Putin has hinted at the possibility of direct negotiations with Ukraine. This comes as a shock to many, as Russia has been relentlessly attacking Ukraine for over 2 years now. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov announced that Russia is open to talks, but only if Ukraine agrees to certain conditions, which remain unspecified. This sudden change in tone from the Kremlin has sparked both hope and skepticism among the international community. While the offer for talks is a positive sign, it's hard to ignore the ongoing bloodshed in Ukraine. Just days ago, a devastating missile strike on Sumy claimed the lives of over 30 innocent civilians. This horrific attack is a stark reminder of the brutal reality on the ground, where peace seems like a distant dream. The world watches with bated breath, wondering if Putin's offer is genuine or merely a tactical maneuver. The timing of Putin's announcement has raised eyebrows, as it coincides with increased international pressure on Russia to end the conflict. The United States in particular has been vocal in its condemnation of Russia's aggression and has imposed severe sanctions. With the war dragging on and no end in sight, the world is desperate for a resolution. The question remains, is Putin truly ready to negotiate in good faith, or is this just another chapter in a long and bloody conflict? Despite the talk of peace talks, the reality on the ground in Ukraine tells a different story. Russia continues its relentless assault, with recent attacks intensifying the conflict. Just days ago, a barrage of 16 drones targeted the city of Kharkiv in a massive air attack, leaving destruction in its wake. This follows a series of drone attacks on Odessa, injuring civilians and spreading fear among the population. The fighting has escalated significantly in eastern Ukraine, with frontline assaults increasing by nearly a third in the past week. Russia claims to have captured a key Ukrainian stronghold in the Kursk region, a claim disputed by Ukraine. The situation in Kursk is particularly complex, as Ukraine had advanced into the region in 2024, only to see Russia regain control in recent months. The back-and-forth fighting highlights the volatile nature of the conflict and the challenges in finding a lasting peace. Beyond the immediate impact on the battlefield, these attacks have a devastating impact on the lives of ordinary Ukrainians. Millions have been displaced from their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring countries or in safer parts of Ukraine. The constant threat of violence and the destruction of critical infrastructure have created a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. Amidst the ongoing conflict, diplomatic efforts to find a peaceful resolution are intensifying, though significant challenges remain. U.S. peace envoy Steve Witkoff is scheduled to meet with a senior aide to Putin in Moscow this week, marking his fourth round of ceasefire talks. This comes as the U.S., UK, France and Ukraine prepare for critical talks in London on Wednesday, aimed at finding a way to end the bloodshed. The Trump administration has been increasingly vocal in its push for a peace deal, with President Trump himself expressing hope for a breakthrough this week. However, tensions remain between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who has invited the U.S. president to visit Ukraine before any peace deal is finalized. Zelensky's invitation is seen as a way to secure concrete U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine in any future agreement. Previous attempts at ceasefire talks in March 2025 failed to yield any tangible results, and skepticism remains high. The U.S. has threatened to withdraw from mediation efforts if no progress is made this week, raising concerns about the future of the peace process. Putin's offer of direct talks with Ukraine has injected a glimmer of hope into a conflict that has dragged on for far too long. However, the international community remains cautiously optimistic, as skepticism lingers about Russia's true intentions. The ongoing strikes and the lack of clarity on Russia's demands for negotiation raise concerns that this might be a tactical maneuver rather than a genuine commitment to peace. The international community must remain united in its condemnation of Russia's aggression and continue to provide unwavering support to Ukraine. The humanitarian crisis unfolding in the region demands immediate attention, and all efforts must be made to alleviate the suffering of innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. As the world watches with bated breath, the coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of this conflict. Will Putin's offer for talks translate into concrete steps towards peace, or will it prove to be another empty gesture? Only time will tell.